much blood is too much blood when you're miscarrying? Hey there, my name is Sam Evan Schroeder. I'm the grief advocate Unedited, and today I'm going to share my miscarriage story, details that I have not shared out loud very much. I wrote a book called Love Letters to Miscarriage Moms, and I share the story in that book, but writing it was a lot easier than speaking it out loud, especially when I know this video is going to be available to the World Wide Web. But I haven't seen another video like this, so it's time. During my very first pregnancy, I started spotting at about 8 weeks, and I still hope that was normal. I started Googling spotting during pregnancy, and I found out that a woman can start spotting around 8 or 9 weeks when the placenta attaches to the uterine wall. So I still hoped that everything was okay, that things were going to be fine. I started feeling cramping though, like period cramps. And again, I was new to pregnancy, so I hoped that was normal. I asked my friends, and there were like mixed reviews on whether or not they'd experienced cramping during pregnancy. One friend suggested to me that I take a warm bath to ease my muscles, not hot, warm. So I did that. I got in the bath, but in the bathtub, I started passing more blood. Like, not just spotting, the blood got thicker. The water went from clear to pink to red to dark red. Then I passed a clump of tissue and another one. A clump of bloody tissue. And I'm so sorry. I know this is gross, but we're talking about miscarriage and the blood of miscarriage. So there's no way to degrossify it. That's not even a word. There's no way to keep this clean. I was sitting in a bathtub with clumps of bloody tissue. And other women need to know that's normal. And it's terrifying. It's life-altering. And no one talks about it. So here I am, talking about it. When I started passing tissue, I knew that I was miscarrying. And then I wondered if I was going to see my baby. So I picked up the larger portion of tissue in my hand, and I started like thumbing through it a little bit. And I found the placenta informing I saw the baby. I saw the baby. He was about the size of a quarter on my palm, and I just stared for a really long time. I was awestruck that I was seeing something so beautiful, devastated that he was born too soon, and I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. Just call me he. And I just wept. I called my husband to come look at our baby, but when he came into the bathroom, he saw a Stephen King murder scene. He saw his wife sitting in a pool of blood, holding up a baby. Which, in retrospect, is a little creepy and a little crazy. But that whole moment, that whole space of time was... There are no words to describe the moments when you're first miscarrying. He told me to shower so that he could take me to the ER. And I argued with him. I was like, why would I go to the ER if my body's doing what it's supposed to be doing right now? He left the room, and I placed the baby on the side of the tub, drained the bathtub, and started showering off, rinsing off. While I was rinsing off, my stomach convulsed. It did this like weird bloop thing, and I passed a softball clump size of tissue that splattered on the floor of the tub. Like, knocked the wind out of me. Metaphorically speaking, it took my breath away. It was shocking. I mean, it's not shocking that people don't talk about this, but it should be talked about, because other moms need to know that what they're experiencing is normal. The gross, the grody, the bleh, it's all normal. After I got out of the shower, I took the baby and put it in a container in the fridge. I didn't know what else to do. I went to sleep that night, and I woke up about 3 a.m. with the urge to go to the bathroom. And again, this is going to sound gross, but here we are in this space where we're talking about the blood of miscarriage and losing a child. If you've ever had diarrhea, and when you have diarrhea, you have the urge to fart, you know that you can't just fart. You have to go to the bathroom to make sure that it's just a fart and not more. And sometimes it is more. It's the way it is, right? This is how our bodies work. I had that same feeling. Like I had to pee, but it felt like more than pee. So I went to the bathroom and ended up passing more clumps of tissue. They were smaller in size than what I'd passed in a bathtub, but still quite significant. The day after I miscarried, I went to the backyard and I buried my baby by the flowers. Again, I didn't know what else to do. It was a sweet moment between me, the baby, and God. A lot of women have told me their stories about what they've done and ways that they've remembered their child and honored their baby. So if you're interested in that, you can click the description below. It was probably about 2 to 3 weeks before I went to the bathroom and didn't find blood in my underwear. And as I interviewed women who'd experienced miscarriages, I heard similar stories, about 2.5 to 3 weeks for an 8-week miscarriage. Make sure you go to a doctor if you think you're miscarrying. They check your HCG levels, which is a hormone released during pregnancy, to see if you're still pregnant. Also, sometimes there are complications with miscarriage that women don't know anything about. They don't know they have endometriosis or cysts, and so sometimes the bleeding doesn't stop the way that it should. And you just want to go to a doctor to make sure that you've got everything under control. I am not an MD. These are only stories I've heard. The doctor's visit is pretty rough because it makes the miscarriage real. When they check your numbers, it's proof that you were pregnant and proof that you miscarried. I have another video about doctor's visit horror stories and good doctor visit stories, and I actually wrote a fictional doctor's visit so that women could adopt a new doctor's visit experience because I heard just terrible things happening at the doctor's office. I noticed for myself, and I've heard other women say this, the miscarriage started with spotting, and then the blood got thicker, heavier, turned into tissue, and then the clumps got smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's just something to look out for, but again, you need to go to the doctor to make sure you're okay. I hope that me sharing my story helps you, just to know that there is another woman who experienced the exact same thing. I've had 3 miscarriages. I've come out on the other side, and sometimes I smile. 1 in 4 pregnancies. There are a lot of other women who experience what you've experienced. Not to diminish your pain by any means, but just to reassure you that you are not alone. If you need extra infant loss support, go ahead and click subscribe so that you can see future content. Hang in there. I'm here for you, okay? Leave any questions you have in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. You are not alone. You are loved. He was about the size, sorry, my husky is driving me nuts in the background. I don't know. I mean, you know, there are no words.